There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
I felt that my work before didn't give me the continuous learning and career growth I was looking for. Hi, I'm Isa. I am the Clinical Training and Quality Lead for Care Innovation Operations. I am also a nurse by profession, licensed in the state of New York.
Hi, I'm Rosro. I was a Philippine registered nurse when I joined Accenture. I signed up for the USRN Build program where I was able to get my US nursing license. I now handle a group of USRNs for a US health insurance client.
Hi, I'm Rosh. I'm a service delivery lead in health and a global process owner for provider operations, leading a team across Manila, Ilocos, and Chennai.
I felt that my work before didn't give me the continuous learning and career growth I was looking for. So, I joined Accenture as a US registered nurse. Now, I am a clinical training and quality manager. As a nurse, we review patients' medical records to make sure that services are medically necessary.
Our team caters to North America's leading healthcare payers, providers like doctors and nurses, and non-traditional health organizations. We help our clients meet the essential expectations that every person has of the healthcare system: access, experience, and outcomes. We have a strong learning and development capability for our talents. The opportunity to learn and develop new skills is not limited to your specific function or role.
I've learned different skills in leadership, business acumen, technology like robotic process automations and artificial intelligence, which gave me the advantage in managing the various clinical teams for delivery and quality.
The USRN Build program is an Accenture initiative wherein the company provides opportunities for Philippine-registered nurses to become US-registered nurses. Accenture shoulders all of the expenses starting from the review center, processing of all of your documents on your behalf, and all the way down to taking the USRN licensure exam. All you have to do is just focus on the review and pass the test.
As a first-time mom of a 1-year-old boy, Accenture gave me the opportunity to work with flexibility, which allows me to spend more time with my son, while at the same time, feel more connected with my team all over the world.
Future Ready is being able to get ahead of the curve. For the last 17 years, I have seen the healthcare industry continue to evolve and adapt to change. The pandemic has accelerated the shift to digital, opening the untapped potential in deploying AI and robotic process automation, all with a goal to be future ready. With Accenture as their partner, our insights and value-driven culture will help our clients deliver their promise of care to their customers.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me Live with Quezon City University. So today, we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com, Transcom, Makati Medical Center, and IQEQ. So before we start, maybe invite everybody for the opening prayer, followed by the singing of the national anthem.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
All right. So again, welcome everyone. Ready na ba kayo? I hope you all are. By the way, my name is Joyce from jobs180.com. I will be your today's host, and we are live again via Jobs 180 Facebook and Jobs 180 YouTube page. And we hope that everybody is excited to learn new things today. All right. So to officially start today's session, may we invite Dr. Bradford Martinez, the Vice President for the Academic Affairs of QCU, to give us the opening remarks.
To our dear QCU officials, hardworking students, and QCU alumni, good afternoon. Applying for a job requires careful preparation since the employers want to see how well their future employee is prepared for the job. It requires you to market yourself and become presentable and to put your best foot forward since first impressions last. So today, we will get some pointers from our guest speaker in order for us to know the do's and don'ts in marketing oneself for the job applied. So listen carefully and absorb as much as pointers as possible since this could give you an edge over the others. Hence, I wish you the best of luck as you try to market yourself to your potential employers. Good luck and God bless.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bradford. And as usual, to our audience today, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And if you have questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. And please don't forget to tag and share these to your friends too. So kung wala pa po sila dito, tawagan nyo na. Nakakapanghinayang naman if may-miss nila itong opportunity na ito. Okay, so again, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And if you have questions, please, wag po kayong mahiya, type them in. Okay, so we can answer them after the talk. And here's our schedule for today. So we have 4 topics for today's session. So we have first ResumeLink, which will be discussed by jobs180.com. We also have communication skills and professionalism for workplace success by Transcom. We also have the importance of savings by Makati Medical Center and motivation and productivity by IQEQ. So again, shout out to everyone who is here na. So we have 326 live audience as of this hour. So please, kung wala pa po dito yung inyong mga classmates, kasi I believe more than 300 pa yung nag-register for this session. So please, tawagin nyo na po. And as we go along, please type in your questions so we can read it later. Sabi ko, wag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. This is your chance to ask before you face the real adulting thing or the world of work. Okay, so to our audience, sit back, relax, and let us all hashtag learn together. So kilalanin na po natin ang ating unang speaker. So for our first topic, which is job applications using the resume link, our first presenter has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 plus career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So the managing director from jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. Not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mo mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have 1 file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala tong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, This should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay, more than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely, wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, meron kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot, pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay? Wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over-creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw yung makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So, sayang lang. So, you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpleto ang detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-log in. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay, lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR, kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot, lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So, ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often that you open your social media account. So, I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis ay makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or anong mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating pa sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gaano karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa 2 lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung 2. Kung 2 lang talaga alam nyo din, 2 lang. Ano tong 2 to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have. Kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. Na ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano yung ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma. Diba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan. Ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede ka mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase. Same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teacher, same yung curriculum. Pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat. Walang experience sa trabaho. How will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay. Ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, edi delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Marami mga video channel na libre, mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda example yan. Okay? So, huwag kayong maglagay ng magandang kasi mga sample na profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Diba? Ina sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Diba? Halimbawa, o sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member na akit bahay gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayo magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pag nakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan. Blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang gano'n na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na, anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything. From top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section. na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo na napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay rin ng HR napapabilis because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto kanya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Di ba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design? Diba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin? Wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pag-process sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, Sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real-time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So yan. So tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala na pabalik-balik, hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year, ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala lang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information soon. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan eh. Ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Ano gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakapagod yan. Hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo. Update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. Diba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long band or short band paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No, maliliit lang, parang business card na dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante na ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long band paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganun. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data. Pwede ka naman makakorek sa internet na walang data Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Diba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. Diba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo. You can always edit it. Enter, save it. Real-time update. Lahat ng binigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, 'di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing, edi balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, di wala nangyari. 'Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget yung wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing Be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
All right, so thank you so much, Sir Kim. So to our audience, please post your questions in the comment sections if you have questions regarding the topic, regarding resume link, and as requested po by Miss Aura, please comment your course, your section, guys. Okay, para makita yung attendance. Okay, kung nandyan pa kayo, pero you can edit sa mga hindi pa naglagay. Please put your yes, your name, your course, and your section. Okay. So, galing yan mismo sa QCU guidance. Thank you. So, if you have questions for regarding the topic, the floor is now open for questions. So, please post your questions on the comment section. Ayan. So, merong offline questions, Sir Kim, if how they can, ano daw po, print the resume link in PDF.
How to save it in PDF? Tama ba?
Or how to print it in PDF
Okay.
po.
So that's a very easy answer. That's a very easy thing to do when you have created your resume link. Pumunta po kayo sa inyong dashboard, no, sa job seeker dashboard nyo. Pwede nyo po doon tawag niyan, i-download as a PDF ang inyong resume link. So pag magpi-print kayo, 'di ba, instead of parang printing it out, you can save it na lang as a PDF file, and then you can use it later on. If you need to print it, you can use it for printing. Kung hindi naman, if you want to send it sa email, pwede nyo naman ninyo i-send yun using your PDF file sa email. Pero recommend ko, if you're sharing it din naman sa email or sa text or sa Facebook or other means, then might as well share the resume link. And then you just put the PDF version of your resume in your document, under the document section, para mas protected ang data nyo, di ba? Ayun. So I hope na answer ko yung tanong.
All right, thank you so much, Sir Kim. And of course, ang ating frequently asked question ay gaano ka-convenient sa resume link, especially for the graduating students.
So hindi lang para sa graduating, no, para sa lahat po ito, kahit na kayo ay graduate na or kayo ay may trabaho na, or even if you're still in college, you're not in the graduating batch. Very convenient because when you create your resume link, you'll be getting a lot of job matches. Yun yung unang-una sa lahat eh. Marami ka ng mga job opportunities na pwedeng kumatok sa inyo. Kayo na lang magde-decide kung sino sa mga kumpanya to ang i-entertain nyo or sino doon yung hindi nyo papansinin, re-reject nyo. Diba? Depende na sa inyo yan. Another good thing pa using this tool is that you'll be getting a lot of notification pagdating sa trabaho. So, yung trabaho na, at saka hindi lang pa trabaho, events, sa mga events namin. So aside from getting invitations sa trabaho, you're also getting invitations sa events. Events like ganitong klase, may webinars tayo, pag may lecture series, pag may virtual career fair, you'll be getting those invitations. So, kayo na lang mag-decide kung sino dyan yung gusto nyong salihan or sino yung gusto nyong tawag niyan, hindi pansinin, no, ng mga event. Baka busy kayo, may trabaho na kayo, di wag mo nang i-entertain, di ba? Now, in case lang you're exploring, then of course, you can always join our upcoming events. Now, speaking of upcoming events, meron po tayong virtual career fair na mangyayari, no? Bigla naisip ko lang, so segue lang muna ako, no? Promote lang muna natin sa darating po na next week. Actually, next week po yan, September 22. Huwag niyo pong kalimutan, Thursday. Ulitin ko September 22, it's a Thursday, hapon po ng Huwebes, 1:00, 1 p.m. in the afternoon, you have an exclusive Quezon City University Virtual Career Fair powered by jobs180.com. So, dyan pa lang, marami na kayo kagad ma-encounter or mamimit na mga kumpanya na pwede nyong gamitin ang inyong resume link. Ayan. So now I'm going back to the question, no? How convenient is this resume link? Very, very convenient because even if you have submitted the resume link to that company, hindi mo kailangan balik-balikan eh. Di ba? Ang kailangan mo lang gawin, yung information mo, update mo na lang. Tapos lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, ma-update na rin sila. Real time pa. Di ba? Depende pa sa preference mo. So yung security feature niya, tsaka yung real-time update, yan yung dalawang pinaka sa tingin ko, angkop sa panahon ngayon na ma-enjoy din nyo. Ayan. Yan po.
And meaning you have to create resume link na before the job fair. Kasi gagamitin si resume link sa mismong job fair ni QCU. Ayan.
Opo, tama po yun.
Okay. So, may plus points daw yung mag-a-ask ng questions. Sabi,
Ayos ah.
sabi, may plus points daw
Oo.
po. Mag-a-ask ng questions. So, kung may questions kayo, please huwag po kayong mahiya. And another question, sir, came offline question. If they can apply daw po to companies either walk-in or on-site without resume hard copies. Kasi link nga lang daw po si resume.
Oo, definitely yes, no? Yun nga ang magkagandahan ng resume link. Yan totoo ang convenient sa part na yon is that kapag kayo ay naglalakad lang, no, biglang namamasyal lang kayo at may nakita kayong isang kumpanya na hiring at gusto nyo applyan yung kumpanya. Eh, well, hindi ka man prepared kasi wala ka naman dala. Namamasyal ka nga eh, di ba? Wala ka nga bit-bit na resume. So ano mangyayari? You can now use your resume link. And that's to your advantage because all you need to do is just give your resume link to that company, and then just you can write it down, you can dictate it, or if you want you can just share it, no, pwede mo sabihin doon sa HR, kung nakita mo yung email address, halimbawa lang hr@company.com, sample lang, no, so pwede mo i-email yung inyong resume link doon po sa email na nakita ninyo or doon sa kung ano man yung mga ways to apply to that company, o di ba? So just to answer the question, you don't have to, kumbaga, gone are the days, no? Yung, kumbaga, nandyan pa rin naman sila. Hindi ko sinasabing outdated na ang papel, no? Nandyan pa rin naman ang papel at hindi kami galit sa papel. We're just saying lang na, why spend? Why do you have to use your money for printing your resumes? Kung pwede ka naman mag-apply using technology nowadays. 'Di ba? At tandaan nyo, hinahire po kayo ng kumpanya hindi dahil sa kulay ng papel nyo, hindi dahil mabango yung papel, hindi dahil may glitter yan, may music yan, or may pop-up na lumalabas, no? Hindi po yan about how you present your paper. 'Di ba? It's how you are able to put in the information when you apply to the company. So yung nilalaman ng resume nyo ang pinaka-importante. Kaya tayo gumawa ng resume link para po sa mga iba na gusto maglagay pa ng mga portfolio o meron kayong mga related works, sample events, activities that are connected to your skills, you put it there. O di ba mas maganda tignan, mas mabilis kung may videos kayo or mga iba pang, sabi ko nga anything, no, relevant links. Sa panahon niyo puro link na nga lang, di ba? Ang kino-connect sa atin. So you just it's easier for the HR to process your information. Kayo rin bilang aplikante, hindi kayo mahihirapan maglagay-lagay ng marami pang mga information sa isang portfolio, 'di ba? Sa isang clear book. O dati naabutan ko 'yan, pupunta sa kumpanya, may clear book pa. 'Di ba? Kailangan i-submit mo yung buong 'yon. Tapos pag hiningi, nako, gagawa ka na naman ng bago, gastos na naman ito, o 'di ba? But right now, you are able to save a lot, no? Ayan. So by the way, paalala ko lang din, nakita niyo nagso-scroll sa screen ngayon, yan po ang career portal ng school ninyo. Visit jobs180. Schools. Nakalimutan ko tuloy yung word of schools. Go to schools.jobs180.com/QCU. May kita po ninyo, may invitation ka agad, naka-pop up dun sa screen na yon for your upcoming virtual career fair on September 22, 1 p.m. po. Thursday yan, next week. Okay? Ayan, may question pa yata ako nakita sa screen
Yes, sir.
ngayon.
May question tayo, sir. Ayan, may plus 5 na sila direct to the card. Plus 5 direct to the card. From Sir Blanco, William R. May binabayaran po ba like premium membership or any other premium features?
Sa Jobs 180 po ba ang tanong ni Sir William? Kung sa Jobs 180 po, wala
Ito,
itong
sir, sa
bayad.
resume
Libre
link.
po ito. Resume link, libre po ito. Wala po itong bayad. You can charge it to friendship. Friendship pa more. As I always joke about it. Wala po itong bayad. Libre po yan. We created this platform para po mapabilis ang buhay ninyo bilang isang job seeker. Gamitin niyo po ito para makapag-apply kayo sa mga kumpanya. At kung sakali lang, you are companies who are listening right now, promote ko na rin, no? For all the companies who wanted to try jobs180.com, if this is your first time, wala rin tong bayad. Libre po ito. Just reach out to our office. You can email us sa my info@jobs180.com. And then magpakilala lang kayo kung kayo ay employer, kung kayo pa ay kumpanya, at kung kayo ay job seeker. If you need any assistance, we will definitely be assisting you, be helping you out. Okay? So wala pong bayad yan, libre. Okay? Ayan. Sige po. Ayan na, next question.
Alright. Thank you, Sir Kim. Next question from Ms. Jemaya. Amen. Hello po, good afternoon. Tanong lang po, once po na-save po ba yung link ng resume, pwede siya ma-access even though walang net or data? Or,
Once na-save na.
in short, pwede ba siyang offline?
Yeah. kapag ka na ano mo na siya, kapag na-download mo na siya sa iyong whether naka PDF file 'yan, 'di ba? Or depende kung saan file mo sinave. And then you can access it. No, you can access kahit na kayo offline. Now, for those people that you're sharing it to, halimbawa lang binigay mo resume link mo. Example lang resume link mo is jemima.jobsonit.com, binigay mo sa isang HR. Yung HR, hindi niya mabubuksan yan pag hindi siya naka-online. So, kailangan talaga nila mag-online. But they have to type it lang sa browser. Google Chrome, Firefox, Android, Safari, whatever you're using, then you'll be able to see the profile of the person. Basta alam mo eksaktong link nung aplikante. So, that means kayo magbibigay nun dun sa mga kumpanya. Okay? Ayan.
Alright. Thank you so much, Sir Kim. So, another question po. Ayun na. Wala. Kung meron daw po bang um, certificate for this webinar. So,
Sir James. Nakita ko yung tanong ni Sir James. May certificate ba ngayong sa webinar? Paki-reach out po yan kay Ma'am Aura. Ang school po ninyo ang magdi-distribute ng mga certificate. Now, to answer your question, from what I remember, yes, meron pong certificate. Okay, lalo na kung nagtanong kayo. And then, biro lang. Lalo na kung nag-attend kayo, syempre. Ayun po. Okay.
We have a draft naman po na isi-send kay Miss Aura. Tapos si Miss Aura na yung mag-distribute ng certificate po. Ayan. Okay, so I think Sir Kim, wala ng questions. Your final message na lang, sir, to the graduating students po.
Okay, so I know you are in this new batch of graduates, no, kung saan dati nag-transition yung mga graduate from face to face to virtual, at kayo naman ngayon yung tipong from virtual na experience nyo going back to face to face. So tandaan nyo, kahit ano pa yan, ang maganda is you have to keep on trying. No, follow your passion, kung ano yung gusto nyo, follow yung hilig nyo, at kahit walang connect po sa course, yung gusto nyong applyan, okay lang, just keep trying and apply. Gamitin ang resume link, 'di ba, pag kayo ay nag-submit sa mga kumpanya.
Okay.
Segue
Sir
ko
Kim,
'yun.
may travel tayong question.
Oh, yes, may pahabol. Okay.
So, yung mga pagbibigyan po ba namin ng link, yung resume link, need po ba nila mag-register sa site or ma-access yung link kahit walang account? Salamat po.
To answer the question, Sir Richard, hindi nila kailangan gumamit ng jobs180.com para makita ang information nyo. Isa lang ang kailangan nila. They have to know yung eksaktong link mo. Yun lang yun. Okay? If they don't know your link, then they won't be able to see your information. Try mo, pumunta ka sa jobs180.com. Meron doon search bar. Okay? Punta ka sa jobs180. Try nyo. May search bar doon. Yung search bar na makita nyo can only search for 3 items lang. It can search for the company name, the position title, and the location. So if ever lang you're going to try searching for Richard, halimbawa lang you're going to try to type Richard, wala pong lalabas unless meron pong company name, position title, or location na may word na Richard. At yun lang yung lalabas pag pumunta ka sa jobs180.com na search bar. Okay? That's it. So you have to tell this to the company. You have to be the one to give it to them. Exactly the same, eksakto, word per word, letter by letter ng resume link nyo. Okay? So I hope that gives you peace of mind. Gumawa na po ng resume link and good luck sa inyong job hunting. See you on Thursday, September 22, 1:00 ng hapon.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Sir Kim. So that's it po. So thank you, Sir Kim. And if you have questions, sabi nga ni Sir Kim, please do email us at info@jobs180.com, or you may send us a message sa aming Facebook Messenger. Ayan, jobs180.com. So ayan. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sir Kim.
Thank you rin. Ingat. Bye-bye.
Thanks, sir. So moving on to our next topic, which is communication skills and professionalism in the workplace. So our next presenter, so he graduated with a Bachelor of Arts major in English Literature, and he dreamt of being a teacher, but a different path opened when he got hired in the BPO industry in 2015. So he started out as an agent and was lucky enough to be offered a position in the Human Resource Department. He is currently an HR sourcing coordinator in Transcom Worldwide Philippines Incorporated, and has been on the talent acquisition team for 5 years now. So the HR sourcing coordinator from Transcom, Mr. Erich Dalisay. Hi, sir. Good afternoon po.
Hi, Miss Joyce. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Sure. Ayan. So your screen is up po. So if you're ready and leave it po, I'll be back after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Good luck, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that choice. Again, yeah, good afternoon, guys. I hope that everyone can hear me clearly and properly. I've been having some issues with the microphone earlier when we had the tech run, but hopefully, right now it's quite better. Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me, Jobs 180 as usual, and also to Quezon City University for inviting us to join this virtual career fair, and of course to share a couple of items with you. So, what I'll be discussing is virtual interviews specifically and communication skills. So, I guess that we can start. Okay, so these are the things that you need to know. I'll be sharing this afternoon. First is the virtual interview. We'll discuss what is an interview to start with, and of course, how to make a good impression in a virtual job interview. So those are the things that I'll be discussing for the virtual interview topic. Next, for communication skills, we'll be defining what is communication in the first place, what is skill, of course, what is communication skills, and the skills that you need to have for career success. All right. I'll start with virtual interview. Let's start with the definition first. Oh, sorry. There we go. Okay. So, what is an interview? Interview is basically defined as a structured conversation where one participant asks a question and the other provides an answer. So, just a very basic definition. But if we're going to apply what an interview is professionally, it can be defined as a conversation wherein an exchange of information occurs between a potential employer and a job applicant. So, an interview in a school setting can be defined sometimes as recitation. Your professor would ask you something with the topic that you're discussing, and you would give an answer. So, it can also be considered like that. But when it comes to the professional field, right? If you're looking for a job, it's a conversation between your employer and you, who are the candidate or the applicant applying for the specific position. All right. So I have collated here at least 8 tips on how to make a good impression when it comes to your virtual job interview. The first one is to proper preparation. So that's the first thing. Be sure that to do your research on the employer ahead of time. Check out their company profile, read reviews from peers who worked or interned there, and scope out recent news coverage of the organization for developments. The better equipped you are to ask thoughtful questions, the smoother your conversation will go throughout the interview. So again, proper preparation is really, really important when it comes to your interview, so that whenever that your interviewer would ask you, how did you know about our company? How did you learn that we are hiring? Then of course you know what to do, you know what to say, and you know what to answer, and that would give a good impression to the interviewer and also to the company that you're applying with, that you were able to do your research, you did the proper preparation for your interview. The second tip is to show up on time. This is one of the easiest ways to start things off on the right foot. While you don't need to log on 15 minutes early like you would when arriving for an office interview, definitely enter the video chat promptly at the set start time. So showing up on time or showing up early ahead of your schedule is really, really important. Let's say that you were scheduled for 1 p.m. interview, so try to join at least 5 to 10 minutes before that specific schedule. So once your recruiter or your interviewer found out that you joined as early as 5 to 10 minutes, then I think that they would have an impression that you're really interested for this job interview, and of course, come in prepared. Third tip is to dress for success, even remotely. So make sure that you look polished and professional, at least up top, right? Consider a button up shirt or blouse, and be sure to groom just as thoughtfully as you would for an in person meeting. Not only will this help you make a great impression with your interviewer, but wearing clothes that make you feel confident will also help you get your head in the game. So again, it is not dress to impress, but you need to dress for success. It doesn't matter what you wear, but of course, try to wear something professional. Again, a button-up sleeve polo dress, it's really acceptable. You don't need to buy those dress really just to prepare, but maybe you could ask your colleagues, your friends, your family members if they have one available just for you to be prepared. Also, make sure that you're comfortable, because if it's too tight, if it's too big for you, then it might look bad on the camera. So try to look for something that would fit you and it would make you comfortable during your interview. Fourth item is to think about your background. Find a clean, quiet area of your living space where you can take the call. Be sure to speak with any housemates in advance to ensure that nobody will walk behind you or make loud noises while you're in the middle of discussing your professional strengths and weaknesses. So you always need to make sure that you set up your call in a very secluded place. So it could be in your room, it could be an office setup, and you need to make sure that you tell your family members, right, that you're having this specific interviews as much as possible. They try to avoid walking behind you. Um, that's really, really important because if there are distractions at the back, then I think your interviewer or the company that you're applying to will consider that maybe you did not prepare, you did not give any heads up to the people that you're living with. There are distractions at the back, so it's quite unprofessional, right? The fifth one is to always make eye contact with the camera. This gives the appearance of making eye contact but not distracted, staring at your screen. So, making eye contact, even if through a laptop, helps foster a sense of genuine connection and attentiveness. It can make all the difference when trying to hit off with your interviewer. So, as much as possible, you need to maintain an eye contact through your camera, right? It should not be on the screen like you're reading, because if you're on an actual interview setup, you will see the faces of the people with you. So it could be a panel interview, it could be a one on one interview. So try to avoid looking at the screen, but instead try to look at the camera as much as possible. That way, it's like you're looking at your interviewer directly. Okay. Sixth tip here is to stay focused and visibly engaged. One way to show your interviewer that you're motivated and engaged is by practicing active listening. Consider nodding your head to give affirmations of understanding while they talk and asking clarifying questions when necessary. Also, take handwritten notes. Keep a notebook nearby so that you can jot down notes, questions, or key takeaways from the interview without having to disrupt the flow of the conversation with loud typing. So it's okay if you would write something down. It's okay to ask questions. Make sure that you engage with your interviewer as much as possible, or as much as you can. That way, it would give an impression that you're really interested. You're really looking forward to this type of interview. You can jot down notes, important keys, important things that you can jot down. Again, pen and paper would work, but try to avoid typing down on your computers. Seventh item is don't rely on a cheat sheet, but be prepared. I know that this is very common to all of us. I'm guilty of doing this as well. We would sometimes prepare, right? So, if relevant, be prepared to share your portfolio or examples of work to your interviewer. Keep some tabs at the ready and offer to share your screen if the topic comes up. Also, come to the interviewer with questions that you'd like to ask. Ask your interviewer, and this shows initiative and genuine interest, right? So I know that we would sometimes research, we would Google what are the questions to be expected during a job interview. So there are things that, of course, the internet would provide you, but then again, let's not stick to those questions. We need to be open to any random questions that will be asked to us. So it's really important that we really come prepared. Do not just again, don't just rely on the cheat sheet that you have prepared, or sometimes you would make a código, right? So as much as possible, be prepared to any open questions that will be asked by you, by your recruiter. And lastly is to remember to end your interview politely and positively. Finish with a great and closing statement. You want to have the last word and you want it to be good. So have a think about what will impress your interviewer. So by the end of the interview, we need to make sure that you leave a very good impression, because that's what we're aiming for right now. Always smile. That's a very great tip that I can give you. Always smile when it comes to having your interviews, and always end with a very positive note. Okay. All right. So let's move on to our next topic now. So we have here communication skills. First, we have the definition. Of course, what is communication? Communication is the act of giving, receiving, and sharing information. So it's basically talking to other people. That's already communication. But what is skill? Skill is the ability and the capacity acquired through deliberate, systematic, and sustained effort to smoothly and adaptably carry out complex activities or job functions involving ideas, things, and or people. And what is communication skill? So it is the ability you use when giving and receiving different kinds of information. So just communication is plain talking, right? You're saying this, talking with your friends. But communication skills, it involves your ability on how you would give information, right? And also how you would receive those informations being given out to you. So I have here the communication skills for career success. I was able to collate at least six skills that are necessary for your career success, and these are really applicable and also important with your virtual job interviews, or it could be a face-to-face interviews as well. Eye contact and expressions. When communicating, your eyes act as an indicator of how you feel. During an interview, they help convey important signals like your interest level, confidence, and intent. So, as much as possible during your interview, you need to maintain eye contact with your interviewers, because if you would tend to look above the ceiling, look down on your feet, or look beside you, it could show that you're not that really interested with the interview that you're having right now. It could show that you don't want to do this interview. So as much as possible, try to maintain eye contact. Also, your facial expressions, try to be as jolly as you can. Smile as much as you can as well. Secondly, is to talk slowly. Often, when we feel anxious and nervous, we have a tendency to fill awkward silences with unnecessary conversation. Talking calmly and slowly not only shows you're in control of your emotions, but also helps the interviewer understand you. So you don't need to talk fastly, right? So just try to talk slowly, take your time. I think that your interviewer is not really on a rush, and so try to take your time as well when it comes to explaining your answers. So as much as possible, try to understand, of course, what your interviewer is telling you, and explain your answers as much as you can. Okay. Next is active listening, of course. Listen intently to everything that the interviewer says from the minute they start your virtual interview. Not only does it enable you to answer questions properly, it helps you ask the right ones too. By picking up on things throughout the conversation and asking specific questions, they'll know you're being attentive, which is a very crucial skill in any workplace. So active listening is really, really important when it comes to your interview. One is because you can get what the interviewer is trying to ask you, and also understanding and comprehension. That's really a very, very big factor when it comes to your interview. Because if ever that your interviewer asks you something, but then again, you're not in focus right now, you're not in focus, and your mind is wandering. You were not able to capture what the interviewer asked you properly, and you answered incorrectly. So that could greatly affect the results of your interview. It could be face to face or it could be virtual interviews. Active listening is really always very important. Next is to speak with confidence. You have to convince the interviewer you're right for the role. This requires a bit of self selling, which many people find difficult. The best thing to do is not to overdo it. Remember that you won't be at the interview if they weren't interested in the first place. Simply practicing and preparing ahead of time can help you come across self assured. So you always need to be confident as you can. Know that having your first interview to whatever company you'll be applying on in the future is really normal. Okay. Being nervous, being afraid with your interviewer is just normal when it comes to first timers, but then again, try to build up your confidence as much as possible. If you're confident, if you're in control of your emotions, right, you could answer properly, you could give out answers accurately when it comes to your interviewers. Next, we have to choose our words carefully. A good vocabulary can go a long way, but don't use overly complicated language, especially if you won't normally. It won't come over as disingenuous at best or uncomfortable at first. You will do far better by speaking plainly and confidently. So, a very good vocabulary is good. You can um, maybe tell out your recruiter that you know a lot of stuff when it comes to explaining your answers, but as much as possible, try to choose just basic words so that you could answer accurately as well. Okay. And lastly, don't talk too much. Rambling can tell the interviewer many things, but ultimately that you lack confidence, skills, or the experience required. Shorter answers that tick all the boxes prove that you're a sharpshooter when it comes to your work and also your interview. So again, talk slowly, don't talk too much. So talking too much doesn't mean you talk very fast, but as much as possible, try to limit the words that you're using. Okay, because if you would have a lot of explanations during just one question, just a very basic question that the interviewer asked you, but you explain too much, right? It's a very, very long answer. So try to avoid that as much as possible. Just be concise and just give a very short and accurate answer. Okay. So I guess that ends my presentation. Anyways, I'll just give you guys a quick background about our company, Transcom. I have here a short video to share with you. All right. So about our company, Transcom Worldwide Philippines Incorporated is a global customer experience specialist providing customer care, sales, technical support, and credit management services throughout the extensive network of contact centers and work-at-home agents. With 30,000 customer experience specialists at over 70 contact centers across 26 countries, delivering services in 33 languages to international brands and various industry verticals. The Philippines is home to the ROHQ, or our regional operating headquarters, of Transcom's Global English region, which oversees businesses in the Philippines, United States, Canada, and also the UK. So here are our Transcom sites in the Philippines. We have 5. So in Luzon, we have 2. That's in Transcom Ayala 30th and Transcom Pasig. In Visayas, we have our Transcom Bacolod site and Transcom Iloilo, and our Mindanao site, which is in Transcom Davao. So these are the locations. You can also check out our social media pages for the exact locations of our sites. If you are interested to apply with Transcom, here's our hiring profile. For our minimum qualifications, of course, you must be at least 18 years old and above, at least high school graduate. We are accepting at least senior high school level or graduate as well, at least college level, so first year college only. With or without call center experience is acceptable. Must be willing to work on site, must be willing to work on a graveyard shift, willing to work on a shifting schedule, and must be willing to work during weekends and or holidays. These are our employee benefits as well. We have 15% night differential if you're working on a graveyard shift. We have our internet allowance, our HMO, day one. We are offering meal allowances, rice subsidy, in-house and online pharmacy, scholarship program, retirement plan, accidental and life insurance, and also our free meal and medicine through Transcom's rewards cards. So to know more about our company, you can go to our official website, that's www.transcom.com. You can also go to our social media pages, that's Transcom Asia PH, Transcom Bacolod, and Transcom Iloilo. And if you wish to apply with Transcom, you can go to applynow.transcom.com, jobs 180, or you can also go to jobs180.com/Transcom. Okay, I guess that's it for me, Ms. Joyce. Thank you very much.
All right, so thank you so much, Sir Eric. So to our audience, so if you have questions for regarding the topic virtual interviews, communication skills, professionalism in the workplace, so please post your questions on the comment section. And so may plus points pa rin. May plus points pa rin daw po yung mag-ask ng questions. And for those people asking for the certificate and attendance. So towards the end, i-release po natin yung eval which will serve as your attendance. And after you fill out the attendance or the eval form, saka lang po kayo mabibigyan ng certificate. Okay? So mamaya po yan i-release sa dulo. So if you have questions po, please post your questions on the comment section. So while waiting for questions, Sir Eric, meron po akong mga offline questions po. Ayan. So first question is, in spite of the tips, knowledge about how to improve comm skills, why aren't we communicating better? What causes lack of communication skills po?
I think the lack of communication skills to each individual is the willingness, really. Not everyone is born with a very good communication skills. Not everyone is really fluent when it comes to the English language that's being applicable to each company, especially with the interviews that we have. It's just a matter of practice and willingness. So um, even though that during elementary or high school you're not that really good when it comes to academics, but eventually, maybe during college days, senior high school, you would tend to excel. So you're just a late bloomer. So it's just a willingness that you have, and also keep on practicing, right? Of course, no one is perfect, but you can improve eventually. It's not a skill that you need to perfect, but it's your personality that you need to improve. Because during your interview, if you don't have the willingness, you don't have the perseverance, you don't have the best communication skills. But when it comes to your interview, they saw that you have the strive, you have the passion, you have the willingness to land this job, that you really need this job. I think it's one thing that could also help you, not just your overall communication skills, but your overall personality that also matters.
All right. Thank you, Sir Kim. Sir Kim, Sir Eric. So, yeah. So another question, sir, is how can you tell daw po if a person or applicant has a good com skills?
Well, you cannot just tell that in just one glance. No,
Mhm.
I think asking about 2 to 3 questions is enough. One is, of course, as discussed earlier, active listening. Um, Kahit na they don't know what or how to express their thoughts or answers, but they get the idea of what you ask them. It doesn't really need to be in English. They doesn't need to be fluent. So fluency is not that really a very big factor, but as much as they could express their thoughts, express what they have in mind, I think
Mhm.
you can tell that this person has a very good communications. Because again, it's um, as the saying goes, do not judge a book by its cover, right? So even though that person, siguro you would say na maybe wala siyang pinag-aralan just from physical appearance, but when you
Mhm.
talk to him or her, you learn a lot of things. He or she speaks well. Siguro mas magaling pa siya magsalita sa'yo or to converse with you. So it's not in one glance that you would say that this person is really good right away, but it's with how you would converse with them that you can say that this person is a very good speaker or is a very good converser.
Totoo po. There are people talaga na punong-puno ng wisdom kahit na
Mhm.
sabihin mo yung yung education po 'no. Okay.
Mhm.
So, may online question na tayo, sir. Ayan, may +5 direct to the card. Ayan, so from Sir De Guzman Tristan Jake. One moment, hindi ko ba flash. Any advice po para sa aming mahiyain na lagi na may mental block pag humaharap sa maraming tao kahit prepared naman?
Okay, this is a very common question or a very common instance that you guys would be facing or you guys would or it would happen. No. No matter how you practice, siguro you would tend to practice along with your colleagues, with your friends na let's do a role play na ikaw yung interviewer, ako yung candidate. You ask me these questions. So as much as you can, as much as you prepare, there are certain times that you would still have difficulty answering or mental block kayo. So as much as possible, try to relax. Before the interview starts, siguro drink water so that ma-refresh kayo. Deep breaths are really, really important.
Mhm.
And try to clear your mind. Do not expect of these questions ahead. Kasi kapag nag-memorize kayo, these are the questions that you're expecting. So don't do that. Try to be open na kahit anong ibabato sa'yo, you could answer it clearly kasi you're not expecting these questions. But then again, it's also important to be prepared to to have these questions asked by ask to you. So just um, have a peace of mind, clear your mind. Just clear your mind and try to relax as much as possible. Siguro yung mental block na yan is very common to us, no? And not only you guys that are doing the interviews, but also sometimes it would happen to us na nag-interview din. So sometimes you would tend to forget kahit na ilang beses na namin na iba to yung mga questions na to sa mga candidates. You would sometimes tend to forget na what's my next question. So it's just normal. just try to compose yourself. No, just try to compose yourself, and just relax as much as you can.
All right, thanks, sir. And another question from Miss Dana Navarro. So, hello, good afternoon po. Just wondering if what's best to say to the interviewer if you don't understand the question and want them to repeat the question po. Thank you.
Okay, yes, kasi during virtual interviews, we cannot really avoid um, internet connection issues, right? So if you're doing the interview through Zoom, through Google Meet, or through Skype, maybe there's a possibility that you might have internet connections and siguro hindi mo na-capture yung question. So what you can do is ask them politely, uh, I'm sorry I wasn't able to capture what you just asked. Can you try to repeat that, please? So try to ask them as politely as you can. Try to use polite words and phrases as much as possible. So it's okay if you weren't able to capture the question asked by your recruiter or your interviewer. Just ask them politely. It doesn't matter if you would ask them twice or thrice. As long as you ask them politely, it's just fine.
All right, thank you, sir. So, another question from Miss Kayla Navarro. So, what are the questions? Yeah. What are the questions that we should look out for in preparation for a job interview as a fresh graduate?
Well, the most important question is, of course, why we should hire you, right? What can you give to the company in return of hiring you? That's one of the most, well, that's, for me, that's the most important question that I would ask you guys, because just by explaining yourself, you introduce yourself, what are your plans in the future, those are the things that we would consider you, because during the interview, if you would say na I'm only here for just a short time, I'm just looking for something as a stepping stone, maybe I'll work here for about 3 or 6 months only, and maybe I would venture to um, a job which is very much related to the course that I took during college or during my university days. So, as much as possible, try to be honest with your interviewers. So, that's one thing. When it comes to the questions, I think prepare for the worst, right? But then again, um, when it comes to some of the questions that I would sometimes ask is, what is your commitment? What is our assurance that you would stay with our company for a long time, for a good time, not just only for a short time? Because as much as possible, we are hiring you for you to be part of the company for a long time. It's a very commitment based question. Also, we would want you to have growth within our company. So not only that, we want you to be committed to your interview, but also to the company if ever that you will be hired in the future.
Thanks, sir. So, last question po from Miss Isurena, Isurena Jovito. Sir, what's the best way to answer? Tell me about yourself.
Okay. Well, siguro ito yung first time na tinanong ako to tell me something about myself. Pero for me, since you are already presenting your resumes, no, you have your CVs ready, you have your interview or your candidate profiles, like the Jobs 180. You can share it with the interviewer, so you already have your name there, your age, where you're from, etc. So just basic personal information. What you can tell your recruiter is something interesting about yourself. So you can start, of course, by your name. It's always really important to introduce yourself, starting with your name. Hi, my name is, for example, Jovito, right? Something about myself is I love to do this stuff. I love to do things like this. Um, don't mention anything that's already in your resume kasi parang magiging redundant siya. It's already there. But if you want to, you can also say that if you want, but that's just optional. But for me, what's the best thing to tell something about yourself is what's interesting about yourself. What are your strengths as well? And also the reason why you applied and the specific company and what can you offer. So those are the things that you can share when it comes to telling about yourself, or something interesting about yourself.
All right, thank you so much, sir. So I think that's it since we are time bound. Hindi natin ayan ma-answer lahat ng questions. Pero don't worry guys, we still have two speakers left. So i-ask natin yung mga questions na yan sa susunod pang speaker. So for Sir Eric, thank you so much, Sir Eric, for
Thank
joining
you.
us this afternoon. Thank you for
Sure.
sharing your time and your expertise po. So we wish to have you on our next set of webinars again. Thank
Yes,
you, sir.
hopefully.
All right, so moving on to our next topic, which is importance of savings. And so napapanahon, the importance of savings. So our next presenter, Miss Visey, is a nurse by profession, a licensed financial advisor and an entrepreneur. So she is an expert clinician handling cases in medical, surgical, and neurology. So a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, BSN in St. Louis University, Baguio. So she finished her Master of Science in Nursing, MSN major in hospital administration in Concordia College, Manila. So she rose from the ranks from being a bedside nurse responsible for the delivery of patient safety through the utilization of the nursing process based on locally and international accepted nursing practice standards until being one of the leaders of her institution. Currently, she served as a senior clinical department manager of the maternity services and endoscopy department under the specialty nursing service of the Nursing and Patient Care Division of Makati Medical Center. So, our presenter, Miss Farrah, TVC MSNR. Hi, Miss Farrah. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon. Am I clear? Loud
Yes,
and
ma'am.
clear ba? Okay.
Yes.
Kasi I have to wear this mask on.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, your screen is up, so if you're ready and leave it, go. I'll be back after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Good luck, Miss.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. So again, I'm Farrah Visey, one of the clinical department manager of Makati Medical Center, maternity services and endoscopy. I'm also a licensed financial advisor. So before we begin our lecture proper, I want to show you our institution, no? So just to showcase our what we have in Makati Medical Center. So let's all watch this.
This is the healthy normal. Our children get proper and timely care. Our patients receive safe and finest treatments. We are confident to go to checkups without worries or fear. We experience service that's from the heart. In Makati Medical Center, our patient safety is our top priority. Now is the time to take care of our health more than ever. No fear, no worries, because we are always safe in Makati Med.
So with that, thank you. So you are all invited to apply here at Makati Medical Center. The link is provided in the chat box, no? www.jobs180.com at Makati Med / Makati Medical Center. So you can send your resume for all those who wanted to join us. So you are all welcome and we are waiting for you. Okay? So let's begin. So for the discussion flow, no, we will discuss the some definition of terms, the use of money, paano nga ba natin siya ginagamit, what are the common use of money. We need to learn and to know the usage of it, no? Differentiate of savings, ano nga ba ang savings, investing, and the inflation, and some advantages and disadvantages of this, no? So we move on. So what are the common use of money? Of course, this is for necessities. When you say necessities, these are the basic commodities that we are spending, no, in our lives. Food, shelter, clothes, yan. So, yun. The second one is for the pleasure or luxury. So, yung travel natin, mga luxury bags or luxury clothes. So, yan. And the third one is as a tool to make more money, no? So what are these ba? So these are the investments, so these are the forms of business or um this is a form wherein you can make your another wealth, no, from your money that you have. So, what are the common five mistakes? Why do you need to know about this at this early point? No. So, syempre, you are all bound to have a job and save and earn with your hard-earned money. No. So, you will experience that as early as now. So, you have to know all this. So, the first one is the excessive or frivolous spending. So, we should have ano ba yung excessive and frivolous spending? Ito yung uh, pag-spend ng money is more than yung spending rather than yung income that you have. So we have to watch out for that. So living on a borrowed money or the credit cards, no. Credit cards is not bad, no. It depends on how you use it and how responsible you are in using your credit card. So third is the living from paycheck to paycheck. So may natitira ba? So from the title itself, no, piso matters. So from paycheck that we have, from the paycheck that we have, may na-save ba tayo? Did we try to save at least, no? Kahit konti. So not having a plan, we need to say when you start your job and earn from that job, no? So you don't have any plans kasi parang as the many financial literate or financial guru, no, is always recommending to all of us, no, when you are on your 20 to 30s, you have to start on your savings at the same time planning and investing. Why? Because that is your productivity days or productivity age, no? And then the last one, whether you like it or not, so living without insurance. Okay? So what is savings? So as mentioned, saving is putting aside as a reserve. So it is not meant to save. Meaning to say, kaya nga siya savings, dapat hindi siya ginagalaw. Pero ano ba yung purpose ng savings? So we will learn that as we go on, no? So by percentage, the habits of saving in Filipinos, typical Filipino would save 12 to 16% of their earnings, no? Pag medyo malaki-laki yung kita, Filipino would tend to save through time deposit, no? But, the facts about saving is that your savings can earn, usually in the bank, less than 1%. To be exact, for the amount is 0.625%, no? Annually, that's annually. So what are the reason for savings? Number one, it is for your short-term goal. So 5 years lang siya, no? So for your day-to-day operating expenses, and again for your emergency funds. You have to build that for emergency funds para yung hard-earned money natin hindi siya nauubos o hindi siya nagkagalaw. Okay? So, what are the other options to place your money? So, by decent recommendation, we have to set aside the 20% of our paycheck to build as a savings, no? Pero hindi naman siya Bible truth, no? You can it depends on how the kita is, no? So you can set aside 10%, it's all up to you. So you have to build an emergency fund equivalent to 3 to 6 months of your expenses for you to live a decent life, no? Any excess or disposable income must be invested to outpace the inflation kasi nowadays, lalo na ngayon, na Pilipinas, medyo mataas ang inflation rate natin, no? Kaya lahat ng bilihin ay matataas. So let's define savings and investing. So savings, as again, we said, is putting it aside as a reserve, no? Not meant for spending or ubusin, no? While the investing, kaya siya nasa paso, it is for you to grow the money, no? Commit in order to earn financial return. So, kung ang savings is a short term, investing is a long-term commitment in order to earn financial return. It is not a quick win. Kaya nga siya medyo long term, no? You can make an idle money grow to help you invest to your long-term financial goal. So bakit tayo kailangan mag-invest? The returns are potentially higher than the savings as compared kanina, no? In the bank, we can earn less than 1%, di ba? The objective is to beat inflation, and investing regularly may produce rewards over the long-term goal. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of this? For the advantages, potential for higher returns, can beat inflation, as we've said, and better vehicle to grow money over a long period of time. For the disadvantages, it's easily affected volatile market because up and down kasi yan pagka nag-stock ka, if you heard about cryptocurrency, so it is subjected to up and down of the of the market. Non-guaranteed returns may not give desired results when needed, and there is a risk of losing capital. So pagka magi-invest tayo to that, we have to know them and we have to learn what is going on with investment, no? So what is the inflation rate? So pag inflation rate, 5 years from now, you will pay more for the same amount of goods and services. So inflation means the increase of the cost of living as the price of goods services rises, di ba? The inflation rate is annual percentage change in the price level. So mean to say, that this means that your money won't buy as much as today as you could yesterday. So yung 1,000 pesos natin ngayon can buy a certain products, no? But 5 to 10 years from now, it won't buy the same products that we bought now. So yun po yung inflation. So you will lose the purchasing power of the money. You are saving if you are not earning at the interest that the higher than the inflation, di ba? Ang kaya sabi natin, when you invest, it can beat the inflation. So dapat natututo tayo at this early point in time kung saan ba tayo dapat na mag-invest, no? Kailangan malaman natin kung ano ba, depende kasi siya sa risk appetite ng isang investor or tayo, kung mag-invest tayo, kung gaano ba siya ka-volatile or ka-risky, no? Therefore, if you plan to have for a future, a long-term goal for expected event, then you must ensure that you have to find an financial investment that outpaces inflation. So what are the reasons for you to invest and save? No? Siyempre, nabanggit nga natin, for you to travel, pay off debt, retire in comfort, or give to charity. So, ano yung gusto natin? Siyempre, in the future, we want to have our own house, di ba? College fund for children pag nagkapamilya na kayo. Condominium for rental, for your independence, di ba? Luxury SUV, and then online retail business for those who wanted to do business, no? So, syempre, iba yung gusto mo sa goals natin, as we mentioned, di ba? The goals is individuals should have a clear goal, not merely focus on the yield or return. So set timeline and amount for you to have a reason to stick to the plan. So our goal is not to pursue the financial stability, but to have a financial responsibility. Okay? So stay committed with the regular contributions and compelling reason to save and invest and not spend unwisely. Kasi we have to really prevent the irrational generosity, no? Yung unwisely spending of your money. So because of that, we have to know the realities of life. Ano ba yung mga realities of life that we have na hindi talaga natin mapipigilan? Is one, it's either we have to live long. Pag nag-live long tayo, where can we get the retirement? The financial that we need to finance our maintenance or checkups when we get older. When we get sick, saan natin kukunin yung panggastos natin sa hospital? Sino mag-finance doon, di ba? And then everyone will get die, di ba? Sa lahat naman tayo mawawala. Pero when we are angels now, paano yung pamilya maiiwan natin, lalong-lalo na kapag tayo yung breadwinner of the family. So tomorrow is not a guarantee. We have to start to save and invest as early as now for us to have a comfortable life in the future. So with that, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Farah. So, apologies, may delayed lang po sa akin ng very, very light. Ayan, so, to our audience, so the floor is now open for questions. So, if you have questions regarding the topic, importance of savings, please post your questions in the comment section. So, I see some questions na. Okay, so from Sir Marco Leonardo. So, Miss Farah, so the question is, any comment or comments about investing in cryptocurrency?
With as regards to the cryptocurrency, I myself I'm not investing to cryptocurrency, no. But my advice to you is that you before investing to anywhere, whether cryptocurrency, whether to stock market or some investment, you have to study first kung ano yung pinapasukan mo. Kasi we are not the expert matter to that ano no to that what you call this
Mhm.
cryptocurrency na sinasabi, but matagal na siyang nag-occur, di ba? So meaning to say marami ng kumita, marami din nag-loss. Basta ang mahalaga is that you know what you want and dapat malaman mo yung mga yung mga pasikot-sikot kung paano ba talaga. And you really have to be on that safe side kasi dapat hindi mo ibubuhos doon lahat ng mga ng pinaghirapan mong kita, no? Hindi siya ganun. But if you want to explore, it's okay basta nasa safe side ka lang lagi.
Totoo po. Ako, I myself may meron akong ano sa cryptocurrency, so I also invested. So hindi naman gano'n kalaki ang amount. So may mga games kasi na ang ano ang payment or ang payout is through crypto. So ayan, so kapag hindi ka talaga marunong kung paano laruin yung cryptocurrency, may chance ang sobrang laki ng chance na hindi mo mababawi yung pera mo. So
Correct.
for some, meron kumikita talaga sila pero, madalas kapag wala ka talagang ano, di ka
Yes.
aware or
So you
wala
have
kang idea,
correct.
ayan.
You really have to learn and study those kasi para before you dive into that investment, di ba?
Totoo po. Parang last time kasi ang daming games, online games na siangatan tapos through, cryptocurrency po yung bayad. So, ang daming natuwa nung una tapos parang bigla paunti-unti nawala din. So, ayan. So, sayang kapag, biglaang huhusga ng pera. And thank you so much, ma'am. So, another question po and marami tayong question. From Sir Neil, Sander Flores, question is, okay po bang kumuha ng murang health insurance habang estudyante pa?
Of course. I would, yes, of course, 100%, 101%. Kasi, guys, you have to understand that insurance is better when you are young and healthy, no? Because insurance cannot take the risk kapag ka may edad na. The older you are, the mahal the insurance is. But the bata you are, the lower the price is. No? Ganun siya. So, as you age, every year yon tumataas siya ng tumataas. Tapos, kapag sad to say kapag hindi na healthy yung individual no hindi na siya makakuha ng insurance, so habang bata and habang healthy dapat kumukuha na talaga.
Alright, thank you, ma'am. So, another question from Sir Jam or Miss Jam Tejada. Magkano po ba yung minimum na investment? Ayan. So, medyo
Minimum
general yung
investment
question.
saan? Oo. When it comes to the minimum real estate, okay. In the real estate, honestly, I don't have any idea in the real estate kasi ang mga licensure is really different, no? From a a financial advisor to real estate broker. So they have their own. So I don't have any idea with that. Sorry for that. But yung minimum investment in general, I would say wala siyang Bible truth kung magkano talaga. It really depends on you on how you can give with the investment. Kasi in 100% of your kita kasi, you have to make himay-himay, no? Parang 70% for your savings, and then 20% for your 70% for your expenses, or 50-50, depende talaga sa iyo kung paano mo siya. Kasi when it comes to that, it really affects your your financials or finances, no? So ikaw pa din yung magdidikta kung on how much you will invest.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. So another question from Sir Al Vincent Baluca. Ano po suggestion niyo sa mga kabataan na gusto mag-invest? At ano po yung magandang pag-investan or where to invest po sa panahon ngayon?
Sa mga kabataan kasi ngayon, ang majority sa kanila yung travel, no? Travel, health, kaya ganyan. So kasi kami na nandito kami sa hospital, we can see, no, a lot of younger people na nagkakasakit. So you really have to invest meaning to say not only for the another kita, but you have to really ano nga yun, i-prioritize. One is your health, then retirement, and then yung mga life expectancy, like ay life mga events, meaning to say yung travel, yung pagbili ng kung ano-ano. So pang third na lang yon para sa akin, if you are asking me to that. So health,
Mhm.
and then retirement. Oo. Kasi ang
Alright.
retirement hindi dapat kung dumating na 60 years old para ka mag-retire, di ba? You can enjoy
Mm.
your hard-earned kita, hard-earned money as young as 50, 45. Basta maganda lang yung pag-save mo and pag-invest mo.
Alright. Thank you, ma'am. So another question po from Sir Neil Flores. So what should be the criteria in getting insurance habang student pa po?
Uh, ang criteria for pag student kasi you can the parents or the owner of the insurance should be the parents. Pag medyo bata pa kasi estudyante, no, not in legal age. Again, ganun pa din yung suggestion ko, no. Health o kaya educational plan o kaya is the retirement pa din. Or yung magiging ma-enjoy mo 6 years after you have make ipon of the insurance. So ganun siya.
Alright. Thank you so much, Miss Farah. Another question from Sir Carolino. Tama ba? Gabriel, ano mas maganda pong investment pag small business or mag-invest po sa stock market?
Yung sa small business and tsaka both yon, no? Both pwedeng pareho. Pero ang tanong kasi doon, ano bang kaya mong unahin? Kasi yung small business, pwede mong gawin yon. Pwedeng online, maganda yon kasi another source of income, no? That can help you, no, aside from the paycheck that you are receiving pag nagka-work na kayo dito sa Makati. So ngayon, doon sa stock market, again, no, as we have mentioned doon sa investment, we have to study kung ano ba yun. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag ng mga fund manager. They are the expert to that, no, when it comes to the stock market. Kasi yan ay talagang volatile siya, subject to up and down. Kung kikita ka ba ngayon o hindi. So yung mga ganong bagay, you really have to look uh, uh, for an investment that can help you go through that investment. And then yung small business, kailangan niyang pinag-aaralan kasi nga magi-invest ka pa rin, mag-out ka pa din ng money mo. So, yun. Parehong pwede siyang magkaroon, pero again, you really have to study. Hindi tayo pwedeng, tama yung may excitement na maramdaman, that's a natural one, pero yung susugod tayo at gagawin natin, medyo dapat meron kang preno ng konti kasi you have to study ano ba yung mga losses na mangyayari sa'yo. Kasi baka at the end of the day, talong-talo, tapos nabigyan mo na lahat. So, gano'n.
Alright. Thank you, ma'am. So another question from Sir Kurt and Donato. So may mga nag-ask ng questions through YouTube page natin, no? So ang question po is, ma'am, can you give advice po para sa mga students na gustong mag-save?
Okay. Ang savings kasi actually is a discipline. No? It's a habit that you create. No? It's a discipline from your financial ano, paano ba 'yun? 'Yun nga, yung habit mo. Ang pagse-save hindi naman porket hindi ka nagsesweldo, hindi ka na maka-save. As a student, binibigyan ka ng baon ng nanay mo, 'di ba? Let's say your parents gave you 300 pesos in a day for your baon. The 300 pesos, hindi mo naman siya kailangang gastusin ng sagad na sagad, 'di ba? Ay, may 300 ako kasi bukas naman may 300 ako ulit, so gagastusin ko 'to. So for you, ngayon pa lang, as early as now, so you have it doesn't matter how much, no? Basta ang mahalaga dito is nabibuild mo yung habit mo. Nabibuild mo yung discipline mo na mag-take out ka. Nangyayari ang savings, whether you are a student or you are an employee, no? You have to start the saving sa first pa lang. Meaning to say, hindi yung pag naubos na yung 300, kung ano yung matira, yun yung savings mo. No, it's not that. Kailangan pa lang, at the beginning pa lang, kunwari, nabigay na ni mother, ni father, yung 300 mo, tanggalin mo na yung 50 pesos. So considered mo na siya as hindi siya kasama sa 300. Then yung 250 yun yung ano, i-budget mo for the day. So ganun siya. Every day gawin mo hanggang makatapos ka. Yung 50 pesos na yun will go a long way. No? Ganun siya dapat.
Ano pong difference, ma'am, ng savings and investment, and which is more important?
Ayun. So yung savings and investment, as we have mentioned dito sa ating lecture, savings is yung hindi yung sinisave natin, iniipon natin na dapat hindi siya ginagalaw. However, that savings is important. I'm not saying dapat wala tayong pera sa bangko. Dapat talaga meron. Pero dapat meron din tayong investment. Kasi si savings, you can use that for emergency funds, no? Pwede mo rin siyang nabanggit ko na rin na everyday operating expenses mo sa araw-araw. Pagbili ng pagkain, pagbili ng damit, pagbili ng papel, pagbili ng ballpen. So dapat may nasa-save ka talaga para at least merong, 'di ba, sabi nga nila, pag may sinuksok, may madudukot. Well, the investment kasi, it's a form of yung kurot doon sa savings mo, lalagay mo sa investment mo para magki-create ka ng another wealth mo. Yung savings na yun yung tutulong sa'yo para yumaman ka or para mas lumaki yung pera mo dun sa nasa-save mo. So yun naman yung investment, no? Kasi
Alright.
ang investment is meant for the money to grow at
Mm.
kumita ng malaki.
Okay, so clear. Thank you, Miss Farah. So, last question po before we end this, nasaan na ba yung question ko? Nawala. Ayan. So, from Sir RJ, important. So, ano po ang gagawin kapag bear market?
Ang bear market. Ayan. I'm not expert to that, no, to investing sa fund, no. Usually we have fund manager, so iba na naman din silang species, iba naman silang tao to manage the fund o the pera of the tao. So ayun, yun lang yung ano. I'm not so familiar with that. So but again, ayun, kapag nag-invest tayo with that kind of investment, so we have to learn and talk to them and let them explain to us anong tawag ito, in layman's term for us to learn kung ano ba talaga at ano yung para sa atin.
Mhm. Parang ito po yata daw yung parang yung, for a certain time bumababa yung price ng isang market or isang value ng something gano'n, tapos saka sila nag-i-invest. Safe daw po ba kapag, nangyayari yung
Ayun na.
gano'n?
Oo. Yun na nga. So again, kasi yung sabi nila, pag mababa daw, saka ka dapat mag-invest. Kasi later on, yun nga, tataas din naman siya. Again, I'm not in the position kasi to say na yes, oo, kasi I'm not an expert to that. But again, meron kasi tayong tinatawag na switch fund, no? So you really have to learn din yon kung halimbawang, sige, safe ka pag sinabi ni fund manager na, safe ka bumili kahit bagsak yan, bili ka lang kasi later on lalaki siya. So they have this assessment na ginagawa with regards to the up and down of that mga fund or allocations.
Ayan, clear na po. Ayan. Thank you so much, Miss Farah. So I think, wala na, naubos na questions ng mga students. Ang daming questions regarding the topic. Pero, ayan, so kung may questions, we'll try to ask Miss Farah offline na lang. So, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much po for joining us this afternoon, and thank you for sharing your knowledge and your time for this session. So again, we wish to have you on our next set of webinars. Thank you so much,
Thank
Miss
you.
Farah.
Thank you. If you want to apply in Makati Med, so nandiyan po yung ating ano, you can send resumes, no? Posted naman sa chat box. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So again, if you're interested, you may submit your resume link at www.jobs180.com/Makati Medical Center. Ayan. So, sa mga interested na mag-apply sa Makati Med. And so, yan na. Down to our last topic for today. So, motivation and productivity. Ayan. So, our last presenter for this afternoon, being a career guide, sharing important data-driven insights to business executives to ensure impactful decisions, leading a team of diverse, creative, ambitious, and results-oriented team has been the core of Louis' existence in the talent acquisition world for over 17 years. So, she has launched multiple new sites, built long-lasting professional relationships with different organizations that helped her find the talents the business needs, revived and improved performance of different teams in different locations while ensuring hiring delivery is optimal, and developed a group of professionals with clear and purposeful vision through an effective, robust, and meaningful strategy plans that ultimately meet business acumen. So, Louis' purpose is to continue her dream to bring jobs closer to people, match talents to the qualifications of each available job, and safeguard their experience in the process. So she will continue to level up the game of her team members and promote excellence in whatever she does. So the recruitment manager from IQEQ, Miss Maria Luisa R. Escarez. Good afternoon, Miss Louie.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon po. Ayan, ma'am. Can we now test your screen? Ayan po. Also,
Yep,
it's up. So if you're ready, I'll leave it. I'll be back after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Good luck, Miss Louie.
thank you. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Louie, just like what the introduction said. I am the talent acquisition manager for IQEQ. And before we go to our topic, siguro it's best for us to play our short video for you to have an idea who IQEQ is. Let's give it. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I hope you learned a little something about IQEQ. And now on to our topic. Today, I'm going to talk about motivation and productivity and how they relate to each other. So, the agenda is, of course, we will define what motivation and productivity are. We'll talk about how they are linked to each other, and of course, I'm gonna share some tips on how to keep your motivation and productivity high. All right. So the next slide shows here some basic meanings or definitions of what motivation is. Diba? Um, there's one commercial that I'm sure you have seen in the recent past that asks the question, para saan ka bumabangon? So essentially, that question is related to what motivates you, what keeps you going. So those are technically that's what motivation is. It is the why behind what we do. It also is the fire that burns inside of us for us to achieve. It also is the push that we need for us to get to where we want to go. Oftentimes, lalo na for you guys. Right now, your motivation may be different from your friends or from a relative that's older than you, but each and every one of us definitely has that specific reason. It may also be different depending on your experiences, depending on the status of your life or say the relationships that you have. So depende talaga siya. My motivation may be different than your motivation, but it doesn't mean na the motivation that I have is less than another person's or vice versa. So if you guys talk to your friends about motivation, why do you do this, what keeps you going, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin that, okay, that other person's motivation is so weak or lame. Never, we never say that. Because again, it is based on experiences, based on what your goals are, based on a specific person's purpose. It's not the same for each. I mean, for all people. So, lagi nating tatandaan yun. And you also have to remember that when we have motivation, when we are motivated to do things, sometimes we also tend to forget na parang akala natin our motivation is already clear in our heads, but there will be sometimes also that we slip out of the motivation and then we lose our way. Later, I'll talk about how we're going to get back on track para you guys will always, in the lookout for, okay, am I still motivated? You can always check yourself. And again, slipping sometimes, it's okay. We're not perfect. There's always room for us to improve ourselves. Now, productivity, on the other hand, is technically the ability of somebody to produce or deliver. This is the rate of output of somebody. So, ibig sabihin, it's technically the when you produce, when you have an actual output. So for example, 'di ba, when you are, say, for those who have worked in the past, you will always hear that your supervisor talking to you about what's your productivity. How productive are you? Are you able to do what you're expected to do? Are you able to deliver what is needed by the business? So this is very important because ito yung kumbaga ebidensya ng lahat ng paghihirap na ginagawa ninyo. Okay. All right. So how is motivation and productivity relate to each other? Remember, sabi nga natin that the motivation is the push, diba? It's the inspiration. So technically, if we put an analogy to this, your motivation is the roadmap towards your end goals. So yun yung motivation. While productivity is the vehicle for you to get to your destination or your end goal. They won't work if they're not like hand in hand. Kumbaga, if you have the motivation and you're not doing anything about it, you wouldn't be able to get to where you need to be, or you wouldn't achieve what you have aimed to achieve. Ang hirap din if, say, you are productive, pero you don't know your purpose or you don't know what motivates you. Sure, pwede meron ka ma-achieve sa mga tidbits along the way, but you will come to realize and ask yourself, ano nga ulit, why am I doing this? So, yun yung direct link ng motivation and productivity. Some of the highly motivated people are usually highly productive as well, because it is clear in their minds that whatever they want to achieve, they have to do something about it. If I am motivated to land on a job, I do anything, maybe systematically or siguro hindi systematically, but I will always find a way to achieve what it is that I aim for. So for example, yun nga, landing on a job, 'di ba? I will have to act on my motivation and ensure that I achieve my goal. Pwede ring, for example, atong susunod na example ko, merong mga tao that have motivation. Ibig sabihin, alam naman nila na they wanna lose weight, for example. Nag-enroll sila sa gym, tas first day ng gym, the night before, they already packed their stuff. They prepared everything that they need to prepare for their gym session the next day. Tas natulog, nag-alarm. When the alarm started, the person just turned off the alarm and went back to sleep. That person may be sure motivated, but not motivated enough for him or her to proceed and act on yung motivation na yun. So technically, hindi pa rin full yung impact ng motivation niya. So ang ending, that person, hindi pa rin niya ma-achieve yung goal niya of losing weight because that person found a reason, an excuse not to act on or to do what he or she needs to do para ma-achieve na yung end goal niya. So, ang ending, walang productivity. Hindi siya nag-drive papunta doon sa gym. Walang way for that person to lose weight because she didn't even wake up on time to get to the gym. Siyempre, that person will already have some other schedules that they need to follow. So the going to the gym will be pushed back and, who knows when that person will plan again on going to the gym. So again, what's important, guys, is we know what we want to achieve and we act on it. Kasi motivation is one thing, productivity is another thing. Put them together, do something about what your goals are, then you will be able to achieve what you're aiming for. So importante that what you guys are thinking of, say for example, yun nga, the goals in mind, say career. Someday I want to become a business owner. That's your motivation. But in terms of your productivity, every day from the time that you graduated, what you only did was to wake up late, play Dota, and didn't research on the business that you'd like to put up. Wala mangyayari. Pero yung friend mo, yung goal niya was to land on a job. So every morning, nagsasubmit siya ng application to the companies that tina-target niya. And then every day then, that person is getting interviews that he diligently attends to. So, ang ending, he has more chances of achieving or landing on a job kasi he's acting on it. You also have to remember that when you have a motivation, when you have an end goal, and you're very motivated to achieve that goal, it doesn't always mean that if you're focused enough na laging straight line or laging linear. Always remember that there will be times when you hit or hit some bumps, when you fall, when you lose track of your goal, because that's life. That's what you call life. What's important there is you step up, you stand up, you get back on track, you think about your motivation, you think about your goal, and maybe revise the way you do things, and then eventually you find your way back towards your goal. So, okay lang na nagkakamali, mas importante yung ginagawa natin after that. What's more important is the solution that you give yourself to become or to get closer to your target. Okay, so all right. Also remember that the people who have low motivation but high productivity, they're the people who do their routine like clockwork. Ibig sabihin, day in and out, they jog for 10 kilometers every day. They do that every single day. Pero if their motivation is low, there would come a point na, ba't nga ba? Why am I running 10 kilometers a day? There will also be some points when, for example, a person has been really practicing on a specific song, kind of singer, specific song, because the person cannot get it right, the song, the tone, the timing, and stuff. The tendency of a person who has low motivation is to actually blame the failure point to something else or to someone else. People who have low motivation and high productivity are often um, people who complain a lot and people who always blame things to others and to other people and to other things except themselves. Laging ganun yon. So we don't want to be like that. We also want to be accountable for the actions that we do. We want to make sure that everything that you do is purposeful or with intent. Hindi yung gagawa lang kayo just because. Hindi yung you will target something kasi I'm just competing. It has to be purposeful. It has to mean something to you. Kasi if it doesn't mean anything to you, definitely you will really lose track. Um, you will not feel a sense of fulfillment because to start with, hindi meaningful, yabang lang, or kompetensya lang. Unless you find meaning doon sa mga ganong bagay. So you have to be careful in thinking about what your end goal is. And you have to set your mind and your brain, your everything, your body, in making sure na aligned lahat yan sa motivation mo. And then you do something about it. So you will be productive. Okay. Um, all right. So the next slide will show you um, some tips that can help us make sure that we keep our motivation and productivity high. Number one is think of, sorry, wait lang ah. Okay. Find an inspiration or your motivation. Ibig sabihin, in any, sabi ko nga sa inyo, in anything that you do, you find purpose. And whatever that purpose is, it will already inspire you and motivate you to do things. And it has to be clear. It has to be actually better nga if it's smart. Alam nating lahat yan. Smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Kasi if it's not as clear as smart, mahihirapan tayo to get to closer to that target. Okay? So that inspiration will be our starting point. I'd suggest na sa ngayon siguro you keep your inspiration or your goal very simple so it's easy for you to achieve. And we can have multiple inspirations kasi pwedeng una you think about what you like to do. For example, your hobby, you want to be a master of a specific hobby. Pwede mong gawing inspiration yun or goal. Pwede ka ring magkaroon ng goal or inspiration or motivation for your career. But again, for you to be able to achieve it, it has to be simple. Don't be too hard on yourself when you think about your goals. Kasi sometimes, if it's too complex, far-fetched, doon tayo mas nahihirapan to achieve it. Take little steps. Okay lang yan. Alright. And then number 2 is you have to find a mentor or someone that can help you with your goal. So for example, katulad nung sinabi ko kanina, if you run, your goal kunwari is to be able to join a marathon. You find a friend or someone in the family who runs and who can coach you and mentor you on how to become a good runner. For example, if your goal is to get a job at a specific industry, you find siguro an org mate from school or a relative who is in that industry. And then you ask opinions, you ask for advice. Ngayon, ang dami-daming mga life coaches. There are also some groups that you guys have access to on Facebook that, you can get a lot of tips from. Ang dami rin nating mga actual people from our family who can help us or who can give us advice and recommendations for us to, have a better view of what's ahead of us. So, don't be scared, don't be shy to ask for mentorship. Importante yan. 'Di ba? In school, hindi naman tayo matututo if we don't have our teachers around us. So it's the same. Having a mentor for your goal and for the main objective that you have is very critical. The third one is you have to create a mantra. So what's a mantra? This is like a very short sentence or a phrase that we can always say or we can always repeat in our heads. So you have to write this down. You may not get your mantra right the first time. You can always edit it. But sabi nga nila, 'di ba? Naririnig natin to sa mga friends natin, you have to manifest it. And diba, when we say you're manifesting it, you keep on saying it, I'll get this particular skin for this game. I'm getting blah, blah for this whatever. So you have to write your mantra for the goal that you have. It's important that you claim it and you manifest whatever it is that you are aiming for. Sasabihin ng iba parang, baduy naman. You don't have to announce it. You just have to say it in your mind. Hindi kailangan marinig ng iba. But it's also good if you verbalize it, kahit walang tao sa paligid mo. Some other people, what they also do, apart from having a mantra, is they actually wear, for example, sa running, you have an idol na very good runner. Hindi ako familiar, pero kunwari meron siyang jersey or something na meron ka, you wear that when you run. Kasi ang mantra mo, nasuot mo na eh. Na parang, I'm gonna be like this person. For any other accessories na pwede mong gamitin, like for example, meron kang job that you are aiming to land on, you just, sometimes it's nice also, right, to dress up. If you have that capability to dress up at home or when you go to interviews, you do that because you are manifesting that you're gonna be that kind of person eventually and get the job that you have been dreaming of. And then the fourth tip that I have is you publicly commit to your goals. It doesn't necessarily mean that you go to your classroom or in your Google Teams, kung ano man yung classroom na platform nyo, and announce it in your class. You don't have to do that. You need to commit publicly with your friends and family, yung close sa'yo. Don't be shy because it's important that other people know what you're going through. Other people have an idea on what your goals are because eventually they will be the one to ask for updates. Parang, how are you doing? Are you able to hit the weight loss that you're targeting? Or how's your job hunting? And then you'd be surprised because they're going to give you some tips also. They're going to commend and recognize the achievements that you have. So don't be shy to publicly commit your goals. Importante that some people around you, especially yung mga very important na tao sa buhay ninyo, are aware of what you are aiming for. Kasi again, sabi ko nga, they'll be able to share some tips. They also may be able to help you get to your goals quicker. Baka meron pala silang tinatagong tips dyan that can help you. And they will always be very willing to share that. Tsaka ang pinaka-importante is if you have committed publicly, especially to your family, na kwento mo sa best friend mo, your best friend would be able to recognize your achievements. Yung kahit maliliit lang siya, but if they see that somehow you're able to slowly get to where you want to be, magiging happy din sila. So you also have some people to share that sense of fulfillment with. All right. So again, motivation and productivity. I think it's very straightforward and very simple. What's important is or are the next steps. After today's session, papa-homework ako sa inyo in order for me to be able to somehow help you out with the journey that you have. So let's do the following after this session. Number one, on a sheet of paper, you write your goal. Pwedeng sa post-it, pwedeng sa sheet of paper. And then if you can tape it somewhere, you can always see it. Kunwari sa gilid ng monitor or sa bedside table or sa fridge. Ililista nyo yun, ididikit nyo dun yung goals ninyo. Again, it's important that you're always reminded of what your goals are so you become and consistently motivated with those goals. Parang that will give you the extra push. Parang nga pala, that's what I need to be. That's what I need to achieve in X number of days. So may physical reminder of your goals. Next is, sabi ko nga kanina, we have to write our mantra. And of course, syempre, mamememorize natin yan because it's just short. A few words will help you. For example, I am a great runner. I am a great runner. Just that. Or I'm going to be a recruiter. I'm going to be a great recruiter. Those can be your mantra. And then, start working on your goal. So the first step after writing and coming up with your goal, so technically parang the second step is technically the hardest. Kasi sometimes we don't know how to start acting on what we want to achieve, diba? That's why you have your mentor. That's why you have those people that you have committed to, that this is what your goal, because they will help you along the way. Apart from the people that you love and the people that care about you, you also have a lot of resources that you have access to. For example, Facebook groups or Twitter groups. There are also some podcasts about a lot of different topics. Apakadaming resources that you can have access to in the tip of your fingers. Sobrang bilis lang. Ilang pindot lang. You would have a lot of articles to read, reference, guide, pati nga yung mga life hacks nasa Google mo lang diba? So make sure that after writing your goal, writing your mantra, you already have that. Start acting on it. Kasi if you don't do that second step, you lahat goals and motivation that you have. Just like what I said earlier, in anything that we do, it's not expected that we are going to achieve it right away, that it's always a linear, how do you call this? It's not always a linear process. There will always be times when we have to turn right, turn left, madapa, mabunggo. Again, what's important is we get ourselves together. We think of ways on how to stand up and how to push forward. Yun ang pinaka mas importante. The things that we learn when we hit those bumps, the things that we learn when we fall are so important in order for us to get to our goal. Bakit? Because those are going to serve as our lessons learned. Pwede natin siyang maiwasan na mangyari ulit because we remembered it and isinapuso natin siya. We can also use those experiences to help other people around us who may be also going through something. Diba? May friends kayo. I'm sure your friends would also have some goals that they have, and maybe if you share some of your experiences, it will also help them out. Um, last one is keep your lines on the goal and stay focused. Yun ang, again, yung motivation. It has to be clear. You have to be focused. Ano ba yung gusto ko? Because that will keep the fire burning. That will always push you to do better. That will always push you to do hard to work harder for your goal. And before you know it, guys, you have achieved so many things already. So, kunwari, remember, di ba, you have one goal in the end. But as you move along the process, you will already have quick wins along the way. And when you look back and think about it, you'd be so happy and grateful na ginawa mo yun because along the way, one, you have learned some lessons. You're able to share that to other people. Two, meron kang definite achievements along the way. Meron kang na-develop mo yung personality mo, na-develop mo yung values mo, you were able to strengthen your relationships with other people and with yourself. So, just again, keep your eyes on the goal and stay focused. Yun lang. So, that is motivation and productivity. I know that you guys have a lot of goals in mind, that there's so many things that you want to achieve. Planuhin natin. And then you'd be able to achieve those. You have to act on it. Okay? That's all. Thank you very much for having me here. Um, and if ever you are interested to be part of the IQEQ family, just look us up on jobs180.com slash IQEQ. Our business is financial services. So most of the people that we hire are financial people, accounting people. We have great benefits as well. I'm sure just look us up at the socials also. Just type in IQEQ and you'll find us. Alrighty. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Miss Louie. So to our audience, last na po natin. Sige, speaker na natin si Miss Louie for today's session. So if you have questions regarding the topic, please post your questions on the comment section. Ayan, and we'll try to read all your questions. Sige lang po. Huwag po kayo mayang magtanong. This is the last topic na. And then after this, okay. Ayan. So while waiting for questions, Miss Louie, meron tayong mga ayun, meron na agad. So, from Miss Jeanette, Kaampued. So, what are your tips about having consistency in doing things? For example, as a student, we tend to be more motivated in the early days of school year. But as time passes, we usually feel less motivated.
Okay. Just like what I said earlier, ang importante, ano ba yung goal natin? Ang goal mo ba is matapos lang yung first half ng school year, or ang goal natin is matapos natin yung buong term, or ang ultimate goal natin is makagraduate? So if we always remember what our ultimate goal is, that will drive us to para hindi tamarin, to do the best in everything that we do. I mentioned earlier that you also have to think about smaller goals. It may not be as extravagant as graduating. It could just be, when I do my thesis for this year, I have to meet this grade, or I have to be the best. That can be your motivation. It will keep you it will help you stay motivated if you always think about it. Don't forget whatever your ultimate goal is and your small goals along the way.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Louie. Next question po from Sir Joshua Dungo. So, what advice would you provide to those people who struggle every day as a result of all the bad things that occur in their lives? Ayan.
Okay, napakagandang question. I will give you a very personal answer to this. So if you noticed, hindi ako tumitingin, I think, sa camera. That's because I am blind. I cannot see. So every single day of my life, I will always have struggles. I will always have bad experiences from the time I was born up to now. But what I set my mind to thinking that these challenges are opportunities for me to be better every single day, to be able to achieve my mini goals, and for me to be able to help other people out around me. Um, Instead of thinking of the negatives, I always set my mind into looking at the bright side of things. Kunwari, for example, so hindi ako nakapagbasa ng letters. Iisipin ko ba na, oh my gosh, ano ba yan? Hindi ko na naman mababasa. Or, I'm going to think of it as, okay, ano bang mga bagong apps that I can use? Or, uy, gusto kong makachika yung friend ko. I'm gonna ask my friend to, number one, help me read the stuff that I need to read. And plus, magchichika pa kami. So, it's really how you look at things. Definitely may malulungkot. There are troubles, there are challenges, but it's a matter of your perspective. How do you choose to look at things? What kind of mindset you're going to have? And I choose to always look at the other side, the brighter side. Kasi these things that happen to us, they're there for, because definitely, kaya natin yan lampasan. Hindi yan mapapadpad sa daan mo if you cannot. Trust me. And I'm sure lahat tayo, at some point, we felt like, oh my gosh, this is the hardest. This is the lowest point of my life. I don't think I can get on. You'd be surprised because after a day or two, or maybe a week, nalampasan mo na pala. Okay? Thank you for that question.
Na-speechless ako dun sa ni Mas Louie. Ko inaasahan. Ko inaasahan ni Louie. Pero 'di ba, grabe, sobrang tama nung topic kay Miss Louie. So, si Miss Louie pa lang inspiration na, 'di ba? Medyo speechless ako pero thank you so much Miss Louie. So, next question po from Sir Marco, Leonardo. What is the difference between extrinsic and intrinsic motivation? So, madalas natin naririnig po itong dalawang to. And how do this motivation affect a person's productivity? Thank you.
So, intrinsic is from within. Ikaw yun. Ano yung naibibigay niya? Na ano yung gusto mong ma-achieve for yourself, if I'm not mistaken. And extrinsic are more of the external factors. Ako kasi, sa totoo lang, I have a simple mind. I look at things in the simplest form para hindi nakaka-confuse. I just firstly think about what I want. What makes the best impact? What kind of person I want to be? Yun yung intrinsic. And then the extrinsic, ayan, nabulol na, would be how will I impact other people? Those, for me, those are my two. Diba, nasa recruitment ako. So, ako as a person, I really want to learn a lot of things pa. I've been in the industry for a while, but it is important that I still get to learn a lot of stuff. And the the external one, that's how am I able to help job seekers? How am I able to help the newly graduates finding the career that they want to be? It's those two are clear to me, and sana kayo din you'd be able to identify that. There's no timeline, there's no dictated timeline na dapat ngayon pa lang, when you're 16, when you're 20, eto na dapat, alam nyo na dapat. No, it takes a lifetime for us to understand what those are, what your purpose is.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. So, another question po from Sir Ayman, Jianan. So, paano po mawala ang takot sa failure?
Lahat tayo, when we were born, we did not know how to walk. At I'm sure nakakita na kayo ng bata na tumatakbo kahit di naman marunong. We always anticipate the negatives. Lagi nating inisip na nakakatakot failure. Bakit hindi natin isipin na, ay, pag hindi ko nakuha yung gusto ko ngayon, ibig sabihin, there's another way for me in doing things. Sure, you may call it a failure, but it doesn't mean na nagtatapos doon ang mga bagay. Failure is a part of everyone's life. Natutumba, nagkakamali, pero more than us calling it a failure, we should call it as learning experiences. Um, hindi ko, paano ba? Wag nating itag na kapag hindi natin nagawa kung ano yung goal natin, ibig sabihin the end of the world. We always have to think about it as if, okay, challenge accepted. It's an opportunity for me to find another way in doing things. Because again, sabi ko kanina, diba, we cannot always get it right the first time. Hindi, ang mundo will always have room for improvement, for growth, for mistakes. And remember that those mistakes or failures are our best teachers. So again, we don't have to be scared. In fact, we have to embrace. We have to embrace those failure points, those mistakes, because again, they will teach us the best lessons in life.
Thank you so much, Miss Louie. So, and of course, diba, failing is inevitable. So, part na siya ng life and
Yep.
ng part of growth. So, hindi naman natin nalaman yung word na success kapag hindi naman natin nararanasan yung word na failure.
Correct. Yep.
Ayan. Thank you, ma'am. So, another question po from Sir, hindi siya question, no? From Sir Angelo. Message to Sir Angelo. You're an inspiration po. Thank you. So, another question from Sir Nino Olegario. How to motivate those people, ma'am, that losing hope po.
Okay. If you have a friend who you think are losing hope, you don't have to tell them, hindi, wag kang malungkot. Wag kang ma-depress or ma-sad because hindi natin alam kung ano talaga yung nararamdaman ng mga tao. But what we can do as a person who cares about that friend or that relative is to be an inspiration. To help them by giving them some words of encouragement but not pushing them too hard kasi minsan there are some people naman na sila, naririnde sila if you keep on telling them what to do. They will find out. They will learn how to deal with things. But you have to be able to support them in the simplest ways, just by being there, lending an ear, maybe sharing your experiences as well. Also, maybe referring them to an expert or referring them to people that you think can help them. Actually, kahit kayo lang as a friend to them, sapat na. Because they know that, okay, bakit si friend ko, hindi naman siya naglo-lose hope? Bakit nandito pa rin yung friend ko? I think meron akong matututunan from my friend. So that alone will definitely be a big help to your friend who is already losing hope. But don't ever cancel their feelings and emotions. We don't have the right to say na hindi valid yan or wag kang ganyan, hindi mo dapat nararamdaman yan because we're all entitled to feel what we feel at the moment.
Totoo po. Thank you so much, Ms. Louie. So, next question po from Sir John Victor Kahugiran. So, is it okay to leave friends for or over career? What if they hate me? Ang lalim ng question, kuya. Ayan.
Okay. Ang sasabihin ko sa'yo, ako kasi, ang friends, you don't leave them. Maybe you don't often talk to them anymore because of career, because you're busy. But you never do friendship over. Kasi to start with, hindi kayo tunay na friends. Kung ganun pala, if you can drop it like that. If you think that you're making decisions and nauubos yung time with your friends, that's okay. Because your goal now has changed a bit. It doesn't mean that your friendship became a lesser value to you, pero you just have priorities that you have to work on. Kunwari, for your family or for yourself. Your friends will always understand. They may say at first, or pwede kayong kantsawan na sabihin, naku, si John, wala nang time for us. Hindi na tayo barkada ni John. So, they will just say that para magpapansin. Siyempre, gusto nila to catch your attention and to spend more time with you. But if they are your true friends, they will understand. They will even support you. They will just ask you, baka naman pwede tayo magkwentuhan one day or chika-chika. But definitely, they will support you all the way because you called them your friends. If they won't, they're truly not your friend.
Baka ba may instance na, they're working under the same company kaya or same role, same work, may gano'n po. Why do you have to leave your
Oo.
over your sa career, 'di ba po, 'no?
And at saka hindi mo naman na kasi iwan, less time lang yun eh. Talagang magiging less time ka lang with them. Kasi mag-iiba-iba syempre, mag-iiba-iba kayo ng gawain at some point. Magkatabi man kayo sa work, pero baka may iba siyang boss or may iba siyang
So,
project. 'Di
ayun
ba?
daw,
So,
same company daw po, OJT pa lang sila ma'am, pero same company.
okay lang yun. Hindi kayo
Okey lang.
magkakalimutan. Promise. Kasi sa amin, ang dami na, ako sa experience, ang dami kong naging part ng team na OJT. Siyempre sa work, they're not there to make barkada at work. They're there to work. So, in the office, they do what they're expected to do. They do their chikahan outside after work or during weekends. They find time for that. But you have to understand that when you are in the workplace, your mindset is to deliver, to perform. Lahat tayong nagtatrabaho needs to have that kind of mindset. Hindi sila magtatampo, maniwala ka. They will just miss you. Pero hindi dapat ang friendship over.
Totoo po. Kasi there are people kasi in reality na kapag nag-e-excel ka sa isang bagay, tinatawag kang pabibo. Ayan, yung mga term ng mga estudyante. So, so mga classmates nila na kapag nauungusan sila, ayan. So, pero kung friends mo, totoo naman daw, 'di ba? Walang gano'n, walang issue. Okay, so
Yep.
thank you, ma'am. So another question po, I think last question po, from Sir Call Vix. Paano naman po yung mga takot sa disappointment? Yung disappointment na manggagaling sa taong malapit sa'yo, paano mo po iya-handle?
Okay. I think siguro ang classic example is magulang. Parang your parents have a certain expectation of you. Tapos ikaw naman, you really did all you can to try and achieve that. But then again, hindi mo pwede na-achieve kung ano man yung pangarap ng parents mo kunwari for you. You will be surprised na sure there will be times na they will express their frustration or disappointment. But it doesn't mean na hindi ka nila mahal. It doesn't mean na hindi nila isa-celebrate yung wins na meron ka. Sometimes also, those disappointments serve as our additional push na parang dahil nag-disappoint sila, okay, sige, next time, mas gagalingan ko. You also have to be very vocal about how you feel about your fears dun sa mga taong malapit sa inyo. Because minsan then we're too hard on ourselves. We always think na baka ma-turn off, baka masad yung parents ko. Pero hindi naman pala talaga. Masyado lang nating pinipressure yung sarili natin. So I think the key here is really communicate. You have to communicate with the people around you, with the person or the family, your support group or your barkada, para alam mo kung ano expectation at alam nila kung ano yung nararamdaman mo, ano yung pinagdadaanan mo. If we don't say anything, they will always think na okay ka lang. So it's important that you're able to communicate it. But if they get frustrated, they get disappointed and they tell you, you listen. Kasi at some point, you will learn something from their insights or their opinion. But don't let those opinions define who you are. Kasi alam mo naman din sa sarili mo, the work that you put in for you to be wherever you are.
Thank you so much, Miss Louise. So, ayan po, dami nag-comment. More power to you, ma'am, and your inspiration po. So, thank you so much, Miss Louise. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, your time, ma'am, this afternoon. So, we wish to have you on our next set of webinars. Thank you so much, Miss
All
Louise.
right. Thank
Ang
you. Have a
dami
great
namin
day.
learnings. Thank you, ma'am. All right. So, okay, so there you have it, guys. So, to officially close our program, may we invite Ms. Pia Sitan, the Vice President of Admin and Finance of QCU, for the closing remarks.
Good afternoon, graduates, alumni, and OJT students. One of the hardest tasks after graduation for both alumni and newly grads is job hunting. I believe this also posed a problem for OJT enrollees. I'm glad you have attended this webinar because it basically educates you on how to look for a job and how to keep it. From my view, mahirap maghanap ng trabaho kasi you need to put your best foot forward. So pag nakahanap ka naman, try to keep it. One of the topics discussed was motivation and productivity. Ang payo ko sa inyo, lalo na pagdating sa productivity, ay isipin nyo ang inyong added value dun sa existing task ninyo. Kung ang task ay filing and receiving docs, hindi siya filing and receiving docs lang. Isipin nyo kung paano nyo ma-improve ito. Pwedeng gawin ay i-organize ang files in such a way na merong control and naintindihan ninyo kung paano ang framework ng filing. Pag nakita ng employer nyo na na-digest nyo ang process at yung task na ibinigay sa inyo, bibigyan pa kayo ng additional na trabaho. But this proves that you are highly appreciated and have a better batting average to be permanent and keep your job. Okay, so di ko na patatagalin ito. I wish everyone all the luck in your job hunting. Salamat po ng marami and good day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Pia. Thank you, ma'am, for trusting Jobs 180 to power your events. Thank you so much po. And there you have it, guys. We are done with the talk proper and successfully tackled all the topics assigned for today's session. Yay! And please do not forget to evaluate this event. So sabi ko kanina, so the eval will serve as your attendance for today's session. So the link is flashed on your screen and is also available at the comment section. And if you have questions pertaining po or regarding the eval, no, so si Miss Aura po Cuevas ang inyong i-ask, so from guidance, so hindi po galing kay Jobs 180 ang eval, kay Miss Aura po ito. So baka may mag-message, let us know if the eval is working now para masabi din natin agad kay Miss Aura if may problem sa eval. So let us know if the eval is working. Okay? So of course, we would like to thank each one of you guys for staying all throughout the event. We hope that the webinar helps you be prepared in the world of work. And sabi nga naman speaker natin kanina, it's okay to fail, just stand up and try again. And of course, tuloy lang, no? And we would like to thank also QCU, Miss Aura. Maraming salamat, Miss Aura, for always trusting Jobs 180, for reaching out to Jobs 180 to power your events. And meron pa tayong susunod na event on September 2022. Oh, I'm sorry, tama ba? 2022 for the QCU virtual career fair. Ayan, working naman po. Okay. Virtual career fair. So we are encouraging po all the participating or the attendees to please create your resume link now kasi you will be using your resume link po for the job fair. So we would like to thank also our sponsors for today's session. So and for more career opportunities, you may visit our website. It's www.jobs180.com. And please watch out for the next set of webinars we are going to host, or please check our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed. And you are welcome, guys, to join in on those sessions too. So kung gusto niyo pong balikan yung ating live yung session, this will be recorded po later via YouTube and Jobs 180 Facebook page. So the program is finally concluded. This is your host, Joyce Katakutan. We will see you soon and have a great afternoon. Ingat, everyone. Thank you so much po.
gabay sa pag-aaral, tagumpay laging ipinag-aasal. QCU naming pinakamamahal, sa pagsibol ng aming pagkatao, bigyang liwanag at kulay ang mundo. Tahanan ka ng husay at talino, taglay ang pangarap ng Pilipino. Pinagpalang Quezon City University, pangalan ay laging maalagaan. Natatanging Quezon City University, sa tingad ng aming kinabukasan. Pinagpalang Quezon City University, pangalan ay laging maalagaan. Natatanging Quezon City University, sa liga ng aming kinabukasan. Natatanging Quezon City University, sa liga ng aming kinabukasan.
I felt that my work before didn't give me the continuous learning and career growth I was looking for. Hi, I'm Isa. I am the Clinical Training and Quality Lead for Care Innovation Operations. I am also a nurse by profession, licensed in the state of New York.
Hi, I'm Rosro. I was a Philippine registered nurse when I joined Accenture. I signed up for the USRN Build program, where I was able to get my US nursing license. I now handle a group of USRNs for a US health insurance client.
Hi, I'm Rosh. I'm a service delivery lead in health and a global process owner for provider operations, leading a team across Manila, Ilocos, and Chennai.
I felt that my work before didn't give me the continuous learning and career growth I was looking for. So, I joined Accenture as a US registered nurse. Now, I am a clinical training and quality manager. As a nurse, we review patients' medical records to make sure that services are medically necessary.
Our team caters to North America's leading healthcare payers, providers like doctors and nurses, and non-traditional health organizations. We help our clients meet the essential expectations that every person has of the healthcare system: access, experience, and outcomes. We have a strong learning and development capability for our talents. The opportunity to learn and develop new skills is not limited to your specific function or role.
I've learned different skills in leadership, business acumen, technology like robotic process automations, and artificial intelligence, which gave me the advantage in managing the various clinical teams for delivery and quality.
The USRN Build program is an Accenture initiative wherein the company provides opportunities for Philippine registered nurses to become US registered nurses. Accenture shoulders all of the expenses starting from the review center, processing of all of your documents on your behalf, and all the way down to taking the USRN licensure exam. All you have to do is just focus on the review and pass the test.
As a first-time mom of a 1-year-old boy, Accenture gave me the opportunity to work with flexibility, which allows me to spend more time with my son, while at the same time, feel more connected with my team all over the world.
Future Ready is being able to get ahead of the curve. For the last 17 years, I have seen the healthcare industry continue to evolve and adapt to change. The pandemic has accelerated the shift to digital, opening the untapped potential in deploying AI and robotic process automation, all with a goal to be future ready. With Accenture as their partner, our insights and value-driven culture will help our clients deliver their promise of care to their customers.